We begin with the Donald Trump White House beginning to take shape as he fills two key positions.
But many people across the country are still not taking the outcome of the election in stride. Protesters hit the streets in major cities for the fifth straight night, outraged over Trump's policies and controversial comments. After deriding China throughout much of his campaign, Trump has now spoken to the Chinese president and says they've established a clear sense of mutual respect.
And Trump sat down for his first TV interview since the election to clarify some of his signature campaign promises and address the anger on display in many cities.
Don't be afraid. We are going to bring our country back, but certainly don't be afraid. You know, we just had an election, and sort of like you have to be given a little time.
Mr. Trump was also asked about acts of violence popping up in his name or against his supporters, and about reports of racial slurs and personal threats against minorities by some of his supporters.
I'm very surprised to hear that. I hate to hear that. I am so saddened to hear that, and I say stop it if it helps. I will say this, and I'll say it right to the camera: stop it.
Trump addressed a number of his top campaign promises during the 60 Minutes interview, including building a wall along the Mexican border.
They're talking about a fence in the Republican Congress.
Sure.
Would you accept a fence?
For certain areas I would, but certain areas the wall is more appropriate. I'm very good at this. It's called construction.
And on his campaign pledge to deport millions of undocumented immigrants, he said that would begin immediately.
What we are going to do is get the people that are criminal and have criminal records, gang members, drug dealers. We have a lot of these people, probably 2 million, it could even be 3 million. We're getting them out of our country, or we're going to incarcerate.
Trump restated his pledge to roll back abortion rights, pledging to appoint justices who could overturn Roe v. Wade, sending the issue back to the states. And if a woman is seeking an abortion,
they'll perhaps have to go to another state.
But on another controversial issue, marriage equality, he said the issue of same-sex marriage is settled.
These cases have gone to the Supreme Court. They've been settled, and I'm fine with that.
On foreign policy, he was pressed to reveal more details about his plan to defeat ISIS.
I don't want to tell anybody anything.
Yeah, but what about the American people?
We have great generals. We have great generals.
You said you knew more than the generals about ISIS.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I probably do, because look at the job they've done.
Another priority for the president-elect, repealing and replacing Obamacare. He said people with pre-existing conditions would be covered under a new plan, as would older children living at home. And regarding his frequent use of social media, he's leaving open the option to use Twitter to speak to all Americans.
I'm going to do very restrained if I use it at all. I'm going to do very restrained. I find it tremendous. It's a modern form of communication.
President-elect Trump also telling 60 Minutes he would decline the president's $400,000 salary and will only